Well, good morning. Well, it's still morning. I guess it's just before lunch here, February 18th, 2025. Of course, this is Shooter, Scott Henderson. We now have some of the wrinkles out of my eyes. Just could not make it this morning. I tell you, I was dragging from 7 o'clock when I first got up. So let's just go over a couple things. Not too much is going on. Didn't miss much when I was out. Wanted to just go over, the only thing I really see is Trade Desk. And I like it just because it was a FOMO stock. This is the kind of stuff when it recovers and they start buying this back, it's just going to go. Now here we're on the 1 hour chart. Now here we have our confirmed low, clear, glaring, beautiful thing. Okay, we've really been diverging ever since then. But when I go out to the 4 hour, and this is what I really want, I want a little more divergence here on the 4 hour. And really, there's no other way to slice it. 30 minutes clean divergence. We're now starting to see the ripple. Okay, so in other words, they're buying it back a little, buying it back a little. Okay, so we're starting to see them dip their toes back in the water. However, our volume is still, we need some volume candles that are buying big candles. So at this point, you still have the funds repositioning. Chances are some people are exiting in this based on the earnings, taking their hits, which is why we haven't seen it bounce yet. About the max I'm going to risk is my prior low, then revisit it, see if we find another spot to load. Right now, my trigger is at 80.39. Well, we have some numbers up there. Just look at what we have active in swing trade notes. We're still trying to catch position back in to Datadog. EA, we still got about an eighth of a position on there. Breaks below our prior low, I'm out. I'll quit on it. So we get below that 128.16, I'll be done. ELF we got stopped out of. Wish I had those back a little bit. However, I think this gap gets filled still. So we get down to this 71.15, I'll probably re-enter. DTM, we have cash secured puts on, just sitting here. Palo Alto, we sold the 21st. $200 covered calls, and at this point they are going to be taking from us. So that 9% trade for 2 weeks is working perfectly. Micron, we have cash secured puts we're just sitting on. mRNA, we are trying to get a piece back on here. Hey, we're going to put some intel on here right here. So we're going to put we're going to go with a June $30 call. And we're going to open up a starter right there. All right, let's take a look at swing trade notes, our primary waves. So snap, primary wave setup, we're sort of just grinding around here. That's, obviously we're going to get out there. I like the look of that though. So CBOE, risk, maybe 201, 298. Mitch, still in this base, but these are structural position trades. They will reverse and we will head back towards our targets at some. Cava, really we could enter something on Cava right here. I'm not going to, came right back into my risk on the breakout at that 126.85. All right, looking at snow, I'd like to get a back test first, but structurally, I like it. I'm going off of this primary wave setup here from 153. We're a little bit late, but I still like the structure. I like the upside to this, where my targets are, up over 200. And UPST, just a little bit underwater on the common shares. I think we bought in at 89. I had some down around 87 that we had to, but basically we put on 200 shares and sold both covered calls. And cash secured puts off on. And let's jump over and just look at the markets. SPX. Okay, we are batting our heads against all-time highs here. I think I need to order another mouse. I kill mouses. I don't know about you guys, but I just absolutely kill mouses. Say, what is coordinates? 612.818. Something, I think that 5 extends. I think we get up here to 62. Doesn't look to me like it's done because of this wedgie thingy. So we've got this, we have like this ascending triangle. Boom. Almost always resolves to the upside, 70+% or more. All right, let's look at the NASDAQ. Not quite to all-time highs. So 22,425. Got a little bit to go before we're there. VIX is supportive, bullish. US 10-year backing off a little bit, but this is where our liquidity is coming from. The Russells, just building out this base here. I think we're done to the downside, though. We need a catalyst to get us below here, below this 2100. Just looking at the Dow. I think the Dow comes off here a little bit, but Dow breaks out. Full-blown Dow theory kind of breakout, I think. Breath is still expanding. quite aggressively, I would say, considering where we are. I don't see a recession yet, but we could be. All right, Mag 7. Meat is coming off pretty quick. Should come back to 660. Netflix should come off back to about 954. Amazon should come off probably to at least 207. Google probably bounces. I think we get this A, and then we see. I don't think, we're right. We held the gap. Look at it, wicked right down to the gap. Had some seller exhaustion there. Really, you got like this supply zone right here. About right like that. So that is your demand zone. So that's a good spot for us to bounce. So Google, I'd look to go back to 197. This is the larger picture I'm looking at as far as Tesla. And obviously we have some upside targets. Right now we're seeing nothing. It does not invalidate that we closed below 325.14 to the upside. So Tesla has a huge bound here. Even with, the numbers and everything, the FSB issue in China, which is why we're backing off. Apple, I think we head backwards to all-time highs here because we've sort of taken, we got rid of what we were looking for. Look, we went to my T2 target, dead on it, to the downside. So we're going to come back out. This is probably an impulse leg back up to the upside, which is a pretty aggressive leading diagonal. Should push us up to at least 266. So I see all-time highs on back there. The only way I changed my mind, we've got like really don't have any support, probably down that deep. Really, it likes to come back. The challenging part when you have an uptrend that doesn't give you a demand zone on the retrace, and this is a stock that likes to do it. So here is it is a supported demand zone with the retrace that held the breakout, right? We don't have that up here, nothing. So the only real support in Apple is 195, technically, or at least the way that I look at it. All right, let's look at Microsoft. I think it continues lower. Trend support is broken, even though we found a little support here. Our supply and our demand zone, at least the way that I look at it, I've got tools that draw them for me. Our demand zone is way the heck down here at 388. A crossroads, divergence, right? Prior breakout that's held. So we back tested the support. So we have test 1. This is test 2. We have some seller exhaustion in the off number that's there. I'm building my case for why I like this better for a bounce here than other charts. That's what I like to do. And when I can have tools that are doing a greater job with that, it's fantastic. But all right, let me jump over to one other symbol. I wanted to look at AWEB. Now, I expect this gap to get filled. We have this little supply shelf here that I think we bounced off. Notice our gap is right here. We got a gap up there, gap down again. I'm going to come down to the lower side of that gap, which happens to be at the wick of this last candle to the downside. So do we get back down to this 33 on KWEB? I really like it for that continuation for all-time high. So structurally. That I'm visualizing. So that's what I like. So you could sell some $30 cash good puts here, but I'd just wait. Set your alert for, cross of 33. In TradingView if you have it. Just, come in and do your thing. Whatever. It gets back down there, it'll end up in my alert queue, and then I'm going to look at it and see what I want to do with it, kind of thing. So, all right, folks, that's what I have for today. Great trading. Until next time.